Oh, wow, you are way too tall for me. Okay, that is better. What is going on, you guys? So as you guys know, I am currently doing a little mini cut. I like to call it a mini cut because I don't really have a date on when I'm gonna stop cutting. I'm just kind of doing this for myself to get back to a comfortable weight where I feel confident and good in a bikini and in my clothes, because for a while there I was starting to feel a little bit like sluggish and heavy and whatever. So I'm doing a little mini cut. But I have been working my butt off to put on some good quality muscle, some lean muscle mass, and I will not let this cut burn my muscle. So like, I'm going to make sure I do everything I can to maintain the muscle that I worked so hard to put on during this cut. So this has been a question that I've been getting a lot, and it is, how do you maintain your muscle when you cut? How do you make sure that you're not gonna lose muscle as you do your cut? So I'm gonna cover that topic today. I'm gonna do my top 5 tips for how to keep your muscle while cutting. And let's do it, bam. Okay, so number 1, make sure you're eating enough protein. Like, nutrition is so key. It's one of the 2 most key things in this topic. So keeping your nutrition on point, but I'm gonna go more in depth on that later. So eating enough protein. So make sure that you're eating enough protein for what you estimate your lean body mass to be. A good little rule of thumb is to kind of do like 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. Maybe a little bit less than that. So like right now, for example, I am about 36 to 38 pounds. And my macros are, well, my protein was at 135. But since I've gone vegetarian, it's been super hard for me to hit that number. So naturally, I've probably been eating around 125, which is still probably fine. It's probably the lowest I could go for maintaining my muscle. So I would recommend to stick to around 10 grams difference. So like if you're 125 pounds, I would stick to 125 being your top number and 115 being your lower number for protein. Keep your protein in that range. And as you lose weight, you can kind of modify that. So like as you get back, if you are now 115 pounds, you lost 10 pounds, maybe have your protein be 105 to 115. So that's kind of a good little rule of thumb. But I didn't say this, but everybody is different. So don't go and take what I say, like literally, and eat 150 grams of protein. Like, you really have to do some self-assessment, and that's where hiring a coach could be so helpful, especially if you're doing this for the first time, because if you have no idea about macros and you've never cut before, it can be like, it's an investment. I know it's expensive, but it can be one that will set you up for success in the future when you do it on your own. So I highly recommend getting a coach, but get a good coach. Don't get a coach that's gonna make you do 1,000,000 hours of cardio and cut your carbs like down to nothing, and that's gonna burn your muscle. But okay, next point. By the way, you guys, I am accepting clients right now, so if you want to hire me as your coach, I'd love to have you. But that's not the point of this video. Point 2. So I did protein. My second point is, this is an opinion, and you can argue this for or against, but I strongly believe that fasted cardio is literally the death to your muscles. If you think about it, you wake up from 8 hours of sleep, you haven't eaten for 8 hours, who knows how much longer before that, like what time you had your last meal before you went to sleep. So you haven't eaten in a long time. Your body is fasted, right? It's like got nothing in it. So you wake up and you do an hour of cardio on an empty stomach. Now, just logically, what does your body have to use for energy when you're making it do cardio on an empty stomach after you haven't eaten for 8 to 10 hours? What do you think it's burning, you guys? Do you think it's burning purely fat? No, it's not burning purely fat. Yes, it's burning some fat, but you better believe it's burning your muscle also. So I highly recommend that you do not do fasted cardio ever. Like, maybe you should do it if you're prepping for a show and you have to get those last pounds off and it's like 2 weeks out before your show. Maybe, but otherwise, just don't do it. At least have something in your stomach, a protein shake, a banana, you know, just something in your stomach to save that muscle, because like you better believe it's burning that. And I can go more into a more in-depth scientific explanation of why I don't think fasted cardio is good for you and your fat loss, but that's a whole different topic, and maybe I'll do that in another video. Comment below if you want me to do that in another video. But that's my second tip. Third tip is do not cut your carbs like drastically. Your muscles need carbs. They need carbs to live, they need carbs to grow, they need carbs in general. They need carbs to maintain. So a big mistake that you can make if you're not sure how to cut properly is just to slash your carbs like down to almost nothing, or to cut carbs completely. That will absolutely destroy your muscles. So I recommend doing a carb cycle instead. A smart carb cycle where you start out your cut with your carbs really high so you have room to work with. And by really high, I mean like up in the 200s at least. The 200s is probably a good goal to have, and it will give you enough time to work with those carbs to like really lose the fat that you want to lose and not go so low that you are affected with your life is affected negatively. And by that I mean like your brain is the muscle that uses the most carbs in your whole body, your brain. And if you don't eat, I think it was like your brain needs, was it like 50 or 150? I don't remember. Your brain needs like a certain number of carbs to work properly. Like if you have less than that number, your brain waves are altered. It was like this awesome scientific study that they did. So my point is, don't cut your carbs too low. Your muscles need carbs to survive, and you can lose fat more effectively with a carb cycle than with cutting carbs drastically. This is how I do it. I do like 3 low carb days with a medium day, and then 2 low carb days. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you do like 3 days low carb, then a medium, 2 days low, and then a high. So your body is not used to the amount of carbs that you're getting, and I'm gonna do another video on that, on the science behind that, but just for now, I would recommend doing carb cycling instead of cutting your carbs. Fourth tip is you can take supplements that will help save your muscles during your cut, such as BCAAs and L-carnitine, and I love taking creatine when I cut. That's a controversial thing because a lot of people, especially women, are scared of creatine because they are scared to hold water or get too manly or whatever the heck they say. But I go much more in depth on that topic in my supplements video. Now I have 2 supplements videos out, but I'm gonna direct you to the first one that I made with Ryan. It's called How to Take Supplements, and I will link it on the screen right here for you. It's also below in the description box. But for now, I would recommend you take BCAAs, L-carnitine, a creatine if you want, I do, and then obviously if you don't get enough protein with your diet, you could add a protein supplement. Using those supplements will help save your muscle and help your body use your fat cells for energy instead of your muscle cells. So if you are like dead set on doing fasted cardio, please at least drink some BCAAs, please, for the love of muscle, okay? 5th tip and last tip is don't stop lifting heavy. If you think about it logically, like if you've been lifting, I'm just gonna use your biceps for example. If you've been lifting 30 pound dumbbell curls all through your bulk, and you decide to start cutting, so you think, okay, I'm gonna lift with 15 pounds now instead of 30 pounds. Why are you gonna do that? Because what you're telling your bicep is, bicep, I don't need this muscle anymore because I'm not lifting 30 pounds anymore. I'm only doing 15. And we're in a caloric deficit, and what is your bicep gonna think? I don't need this muscle anymore. I'm gonna lose it because obviously I'm not lifting 30 pounds anymore, I'm just lifting 15, and we need to save as much energy as we can. And what am I gonna do? Buy muscle, buy muscle. That's what your bicep is gonna do, okay? So at least, like, I'm all for doing higher reps and stuff, but at least do like one set with that heavy like weight that you've been lifting. Don't let your strength die, because when you let your strength die, your muscle will follow. Yeah, okay, I think that's it, guys. I wanted this video to be like very short, informational, so that's it. Also, I noticed a comment on my YouTube channel asking me to please reply more to your comments, and that makes me feel so guilty. I'm sorry, and I promise you guys that I will do more to respond to you. I read all of them. I just get very busy and carried away, so, but I'm making a promise to you that I will try to get back to as many people as I can on my comments. So I apologize, thank you for bringing that to my attention, and I will see you guys next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time here on my channel.